I'm one of the best buckets in the country. The world's gonna know who RJ Hampton is.
Hey! Hampton to the cup.
What's the point guard position gonna look like 10 years from now? I know you had to wonder, what if Steph Curry was 6'6", with bounce like Zach LaVine, and had those Pat Bev clamps on defense? It all might sound like 2K, but this is real life. Your point guard of the future is here, and his name is RJ Hampton. RJ is a unicorn in every sense of its meaning. Two-time Texas Player of the Year and Team USA gold medalist. My guy's got the resume. Skipped his senior year to play against grown men in Australia. My guy's got the guts. Grinding every day to certify himself as an NBA lottery pick. RJ's got the toughness. But how does a kid from Little Elm, Texas, go from waiting in line for sneakers on Saturday to signing a sneaker deal with the same company as D Wade before he's even played a minute in the league? You just gotta stick with me and I'll tell you why RJ is the future of hoops. Roderick Dion Hampton Jr. was born February 7th, 2001 to Roderick Sr. and Marquita Hampton. Basketball is the family business for the Hamptons. His dad, Rod, was a big-time recruit out of Dallas in the 80s.
80s rules.
And ended up staying home to hoop at SMU. After 4 years with the Mustangs, he went on to play overseas a little bit before heading back to Texas to start his own basketball consulting company and witness the birth of his son. While Pops handled business on the court, RJ's mom Marquita took care of things off it. She earned a master's degree in leadership and development, all while raising RJ and his little brother Ryan. Yeah, mama's the real MVP. If RJ or his little bro Ryan ever brought home a C letter grade, best believe they'd have a book in their hand instead of a ball. RJ first picked up a basketball at just 3 years old, but he didn't start getting serious about the game until the 2nd grade, when he asked to start training with his old man. Rod was RJ's primary AAU coach for most of his life, but former NBA All-Star Jermaine O'Neal also played a big role in teaching RJ the game.
Jermaine, that's big bro. He's my coach, he's my mentor. He helps manage my body and my brands.
Don't get me wrong, they were tough on him, but that's just what it takes when you're trying to be great.
You always gotta make business decisions, right? You only get one body, but when you're dragging a leg like you were last night, you should never ever do that.
RJ was still in middle school when he first caught some attention on the hoop circuit. By March of 2016, Kid was already 6'1" when he opened the eyes of America at the John Lucas All-Star Weekend, featuring some of the best middle school talent in the country. He made a name for himself that weekend as one of the tallest at his position, but with a smooth game and body control that was ridiculous for someone who just turned 15. By the end of that summer after 8th grade, RJ had sprouted to 6'4" and started to tower over opposing point guards. With his newly developed length and stature, it was time for RJ to pick a high school. And instead of choosing a national powerhouse or basketball academy like IMG, RJ decided to put on for his Texas hometown and rock with Coach Rusty Segler and Little Elm High School. RJ wanted to play high school ball with the kids he grew up with, just like LeBron did at St. Vincent St. Mary. Man, you can't beat that kind of chemistry and friendship, on and off the court. Their squad was nicknamed the Duffel Bag Boys.
Duffy Boys.
Because if opponents were in their bag, then the Little Elm squad was in their duffel. What up, Duffy Boys? All those late nights in the lab with his dad paid off. RJ started his high school career on fire. The diaper dandy was putting up 23 points per game, 7 rebounds, and 4 assists in his freshman campaign. Oh yeah, don't think my man won't put you in that seatbelt on defense. He averaged 3.5 steals per game and snagged that district chip in his first year. To top it all off, RJ was named first team freshman All-American and had picked up big time offers from Oklahoma State and his dad's alma mater, SMU. Not bad for a rook. In June 2017, he considered a transfer to high school hoops powerhouse Montverde Academy for his sophomore season. Montverde competes for natties every year, and Coach Boyle has a reputation for developing NBA players, such as D'Angelo Russell and Joel Embiid, so it seemed like a move that could make sense. A month later, he flew to Argentina to compete in the FIBA U16 Americas Championships alongside James Wiseman and Vernon Carey. They brought home that gold. After returning and talking it over with his dad, RJ switched it up and decided to stay put at Little Elm after all. He wanted to ride with Coach Rusty Segler, who he had developed a close relationship with. He's a no-nonsense coach, kind of like his pops.
We got to put everything we got into this game or we don't go to the next game.
And he always got the best out of RJ. While coaching RJ at Little Elm, Coach Segler was unfortunately diagnosed with cancer. RJ was devastated by the news, and it took a big toll on the Little Elm community. Rod Hampton said while Coach Segler was away from the team undergoing treatment, you could tell RJ was different. His dad told him, "You have to step up and be a leader now."
Put your Superman cape on and go to work.
And having been inspired by Coach Segler's fight, young RJ put the burden of leading the team on his shoulders. After some time, Coach Segler was healthy enough to return to coaching. Even though it wasn't easy, he still gave RJ and Lil Elm 110%, and RJ promised to do the same for him in every practice, in every game. The two were navigating new territory in their own way, while continuing to motivate each other. Coach Segler said that it was a blessing at the tail end of his career to have a player like RJ come along. To show their gratitude back to Coach Segler, RJ and his dad invited him to come along with them to the USA Basketball HQ for RJ's junior national team training. Coach Segler described the whole experience as bucket list stuff. It really all was a family affair at Little Elm, and RJ wanted to bring home that Texas State title for his incredible coach. Hampton really was in his go-yard duffel bag as a sophomore, averaging 30 points per game, 9 rebounds, 6 assists, 4 steals, and 2 blocks. There was a couple of games where my man was flirting with the mythical quadruple double. He also took home district MVP and Class 5A Player of the Year hardware. Following year 2, RJ had a scorching hot summer playing AAU on the Under Armour circuit for current Utah Jazz guard Emmanuel Moutier's Moutier Elite. My guy was getting busy and was even cool enough to let Overtime tag along to document his AAU journey on the circuit.
The competition at UA, every team comes to play, every game's a dogfight.
Before the start of RJ's junior season, he slid back to USA Basketball HQ one more time for the Team USA minicamp. There he met and became close friends with the unicorn, Jalen Green. Jalen had just started a movement for a new wave of unique hoopers called the Unicorn Fam. Yo Jalen, tell the good folks at home what a unicorn is.
I play any position I feel like. I guard any positions. I can do almost everything. That's why I say I'm a unicorn.
That's right, a positionless player that can take over any game, anytime, anywhere. Our boy RJ brings all that to the table. With Unicorn Fam blowing up and RJ picking up offers from Kentucky, Kansas, and Duke, all eyes would be on RJ going into his junior year. Everyone wanted to know if he was the best player in high school regardless of class. Would he reclassify to be a senior and begin his collegiate career after his 3rd year of high school? There were some whispers that he may even jump overseas to play pro ball. RJ had the whole world watching and waiting for his next move, but he wasn't going to let the pressure rush him into making a quick decision.
This town raised me, and I love it, but I gotta do what's gonna get me to the league.
The hype, the haters, the sky-high expectations.
First round draft pick.
I think he'll do a year in college and go straight to the league.
RJ decided to embrace them all as a part of his unique high school experience.
I'm only 17, but I'm embracing the spotlight.
Despite all the distractions, our guy RJ and Lil Elm had one thing on their mind: that Texas State championship. Texas had some elite guards that year, like Kentucky's Tyrese Maxey and Texas Tech's Jamias Ramsey. Our man RJ was gonna have to face some tough competition for that state ring, Overtime was so hyped to follow RJ's insane junior year that we gave him his own show. I didn't think it was possible, but RJ got even better in his junior year, putting up 32 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists, and 4 steals per game. Go crazy, little bro. Despite RJ pouring in 29 points, Little Elm's playoff run was cut short with a loss to Timberview on February 21st, 2019. RJ, Coach Segler, and the Duffy boys gave it everything they had, but sometimes you just fall short. Still, he was rightfully awarded that Gatorade Player of the Year honor for the state of Texas, making him the first player ever from Little Elm to win the award, and the first non-senior to win the award since current Memphis Grizz Justice Winslow did it back in 2013. Summer before senior year, RJ went beast mode. He secured another gold medal with Team USA, hit the Steph Curry camp in California, and was burning up the nets at the Nike EYBL. Rod Hampton and Coach Jermaine pushed RJ that summer to leave no doubt he was ready for the next level. Just a few days after returning home from the first EYBL tourney of the summer, RJ was confident he was ready for that next step, deciding to forego his senior year and reclassify up to the class of 2019. My boy RJ was done with high school ball. But what would be next for Unicorn Fam's chief bucket getter? First, RJ declared a Final Four list of schools: Kansas, Kentucky, Memphis, and Texas Tech. Then, on May 28, 2019, RJ flipped a switch and announced where he would play next season. This was the decision everyone had been waiting on. As a top 10 player in the 2019 class, with his pick of any school in the country, our guy made the huge decision to skip college to play pro ball in Australia's NBL. RJ's dad said RJ chose the New Zealand Breakers over a $1 million deal to play in China. He wasn't the only American kid heading down under the hoop in the NBL either. Some other kid out of Chino Hills, California decided to do the same thing. LaMelo Ball, ever heard of him? Don't get it twisted either. Our boy RJ is never ducking competition. He joined a league filled with former NBA pros and intense competition at just 18. If your main goal is the NBA, I mean, why not seek out competition that has been there before? And on top of that decision, RJ made history by signing a multi-year shoe deal with Li Ning before even playing a pro game. We see you making business moves, young boy. Man, RJ has some crazy battles with LaMelo in the NBL that straight broke the internet. And off the court, they became the best of friends. RJ got a taste of NBA competition when he battled Chris Paul and Ja Morant in 2 games versus the OKC Thunder and Memphis Grizzlies during the NBA preseason. Even as one of the youngest on the court, RJ was one of the NBL's biggest stars. In 15 games in the NBL, Hampton averaged 9 points per game, 2 assists, and 4 boards. On February 4th, 2020, RJ was officially ruled out of the last few games of the season due to a hip injury. He decided to head back to the States to heal up and prepare for the NBA draft, where he'd likely be a top 10 pick. Man, looking back on it, RJ has already done so much in his young career and always showed big love to the Overtime fam along the way. He bodied the Overtime challenge and showed our man Larry it wasn't his first rodeo. He let us hook him up to a lie detector where he told the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth about who's the GOAT.
LeBron James was ever touch a basketball.
Bro, you talking to me about LeBron James, bro?
He even kept us updated during quarantine about the upcoming draft, what it was like to play for the New Zealand Breakers, and matching up against Zion.
I played against Zion at USA camp. Seeing him in person is almost like you don't know another player like him. You don't know how to describe him to another player.
NBA fans, you know you gotta be hyped for those Unicorn versus Jam Fam matchups in the league. We asked RJ what's the first thing he's gonna do when he gets drafted.
I want to like celebrate with my family, just like all the hard work that like me and my pops put in, my mom's sacrifices, so like my brother's sacrifices. So just celebrate with the fam for sure.
You a real one for that, RJ. So where are you gonna be on draft day? I know I'll be tuned in to see what lucky team lands RJ Hampton. Can he live up to the hype, silence the doubters, and lead an NBA team to a title? Will RJ be the generational point guard that changes the destiny of your favorite franchise? They say you can't predict the future, but you can bet RJ's got a bright future ahead of him. It's been your favorite storyteller, OT Cambo. Now I'm out of here. Later.
Come on, you know this joint is fire, fire. You better click the link in the bio real quick so you can get crazy. Pick the lightning bolts. All right, Big O, you know, stop playing games. We here. Check out the videos right here and subscribe. It's about that time. You better subscribe. You better click that button though.